my top 5 favorite common houseplants. G'day plant lovers, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kathy. For all my return visitors, thank you so much for coming back. I truly appreciate every single one of you. And I think this is going to come out around my brother's birthday, so I wanted to give a big shout out to my brother Chris. Love you heaps, happy birthday, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so today I actually wanted to show you 5 of my favorite common houseplants. I'm sure that people are aware of this, but Christian of the Crazy Plant Guy started this tag, putting the spotlight on our favorite common houseplants, and I really love the idea. They're plants that you can pretty much find anywhere, say at local nurseries or your big box stores or our Bunnings and things like that. Now with me, in any favorite list, my Monstera is always in there. I just love it. It is definitely my favorite plant. But I have shown my Monstera on my channel a few times, so I wanted to give some love to other plants that you might not see as often. Okay. Oh, and yes, I have another hat which I got from Adam from Not Dude, so big shout out to Adam. I just love it, and I am a nerd and I do love plants, so I thought, how perfect is this hat, right? And isn't it gorgeous? I love the color. Anyway, oh, last thing, I'm going to flash you, just be aware. You're not going to see anything anyway, but this is my leaf petter t-shirt from Pam's Pretty Plants, so big shout out to Pam. I am definitely a leaf petter, so yes, I'm fully geared up for planty stuff today. So let's start off with the first one. This is my Peperomia Opticifolia Lemon and Lime. Now tell me she isn't gorgeous. But then I think all my plants are gorgeous. Well, most of them anyway. I think I got her in mid-spring and she has just not stopped growing for me. She has these wonderful markings on her leaves, and she's a lighter shade of green than the other Opticifolia I have, which is the Jade Opticifolia. Now, out of all the Peperomias I own, I honestly think the Opticifolias are the easiest. They have quite thick, almost succulent leaves, so they retain quite a bit of water, and when they need water, you can do Nick Pileggi's taco test. Just don't do it too hard, because I have done that and cracked a leaf, but you can just gently try and see if they are flexible, and if they are really flexible, then they need a water. I just watered her yesterday, so they're very firm. I keep her in my north-facing windows, and in Australia, that is the best light we can give them. I do have a curtain in front of the window so she doesn't get any direct light. But I think she's a little top-heavy now, and I suspect that she needs a repot because she is drying out much faster than she used to. Now, a lot of people say that peperomias only grow in the winter. Perhaps it's different in Australia, but all my peperomias grow throughout the year for me. Very easy to find. I bought her at Bunnings, so basically I think most nurseries should have her, and I don't think I paid even $10 for her. And in 9 months, 12 months, she has at least doubled in size. Yes, so that is my Peperomia Opticifolia Lemon and Lime. Number 2 is my Coleus. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, she is just a stunner, isn't she? I actually bought the mother plant for indoors last year. It would have been in spring, and she did not like it indoors. So I ended up planting the mother plant in the landscape, and I took a couple of cuttings because I watched Pam's Pretty Plants video on Coleuses, and I put them in a little pot, and it's been growing wonderfully for me all winter. Most plants are usually green or varying shades of green, and this is such a wonderful color I just love seeing it. These are very inexpensive. I believe I bought this one for less than $10, and I have also seen other varieties at Bunnings for $2, which is awesome. And they grow really well. However, the one in the landscape, I think, didn't survive winter, and it's just a stick at the moment. So I think I've probably lost it. I haven't had a chance to clean it out yet. So at least I have this one, and I'm going to be taking more cuttings so I can just keep perpetuating the plant for as long as I like. And I definitely intend to get a few more varieties once we're out of lockdown, because I did have a beautiful one. Oh, it was just stunning. I think it was called Rodeo Drive, which we put in the landscape. And unfortunately, my big, clumsy German Shepherd, my beautiful German Shepherd, she actually stomped on it and squished it. I know that some varieties don't like full sun. The ones that I've had, and I've had at least 3 or 4, they can all tolerate full sun, but they do prefer a little bit of shade, especially in the summer when it gets really hot. Now, I have had this one on my windowsill, my north-facing windowsill, since probably about April. And now that we're going into the warmer weather, I'm going to keep an eye on it. And if I notice that it's not liking how bright the light is, then I will pull it back a little bit from the window. I generally water this in this small little pot probably once a week. And I like to wait until they're about 4 or lower on the moisture meter before I water this. I definitely think this is a beautiful and underrated plant, and I'm sure that you will be able to find a color combination that you like, because there honestly are just so many different kinds of Coleuses. So that is my Coleus, unknown variety. If anyone does know which variety it is, please do let me know. I have not been able to identify it. Okay, number 3 is my Calathea Beauty Star. Oh, isn't she just gorgeous? I really love this plant. I think it was in spring that I thought I'm ready for something a little bit more challenging. So I bought a few Calatheas, or plants in the Maranticei family. Tell me she's not beautiful, isn't she? Oh, I just love her. And if you have a look, the abaxial side of the older leaves are this stunning dark purple colour. Oh, I just love it. And you can always tell the newer leaves because they are this lighter colour, and the backs actually are still quite light. They haven't developed that beautiful purple shade. The leaves look like they've been painted on. Nature astounds me at how stunning it is and how much variety there is. And sometimes I think I just stop in awe and just look at some plants, which I can't believe that nature has created such beauty. Now I'm waxing lyrical, so apologies for that, but seriously, she is such a beautiful plant. And I often do stop and look at her because I think she is just stunning. Now, care requirements for this plant. I have found with my Calatheas, Maranticei family plants, that they prefer not to dry out completely. So I usually wait until the moisture meter reads, say, 5 or 4 before I water them. I don't water them with anything special. I refuse to buy water personally, for myself, let alone for my plants. So she just gets Melbourne tap water, and as you can see, she does not have many crispy edges at all. So I think she can tolerate the tap water much better than perhaps my Rufibaba or my Calathea rattlesnake. That one seems to get crispy edges all the time. I also have her around at least 2 meters back from my east-facing window, and she has not stopped growing. She is currently next to the humidifier, so she is getting some humidity. However, I would probably move her once I've stopped running the heater And I'll probably bring her back into the living room because I just love looking at her. So yes, if you are interested in a Calathea, perhaps start with something like this. I have definitely found her to be the easiest out of all of them that I have, except perhaps my Stramanthe sanguinii triastar. That one has also been very easy, but she gets even less crispy edges. And let's be honest, we're not perfect, so why do we expect our plants to be perfect? Of course they're going to get some crispy edges or not look quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Pristine. And if we want a plant that doesn't have any crispy edges, then I think we should get plastic plants. What do you think? Well, that's my view anyway. So this is my beautiful Calathea Beauty Star. Highly recommend this plant. Okay, number 4 is too big for me to bring down. She is currently hanging in my kitchen, and it is my Boston Fern. And I know I'm going to butcher this, Nephrolepis or Nephrolepsis exaltata. I can never get the first one right. I actually have wondered if it might be a macho fern. I've been looking online trying to decide because the Boston ferns I've seen in photos don't look quite like my plant. So if you guys know whether I have a macho or Boston, please do let me know. I would really appreciate it. I bought her last year, I think it was in spring, and she was tiny. She was probably no bigger than this when I got her. As you can see, she is gorgeous. She is just stunning and loving life. She has grown so much that I'm constantly in awe of her. And I have an open plan living room, so once you walk into my house, you pretty much see her straight away, and she makes a big impact. Now, when I got my Boston Fern, initially she crisped a little, and I was a little bit concerned, so I thought perhaps I'll try her out in a self-watering pot. Best decision I made. She has gone nuts ever since, and honestly, I don't get even any crispy edges on her. Surprisingly enough, because she lives in the kitchen, and while she does get some humidity there, it's certainly not as high as, say, where I run my humidifier, which is in my study. And I actually was worried that I would lose her during winter because I've heard that they don't do well in winter. But instead she just kept putting out new growth. So I don't think I have any real secret. I think the self-watering pot has been the best thing I could have done for this plant because she has loved it and she draws up the water when she needs it. I honestly think that the reason she is doing so well and has done so well during winter is because I spray her with sea salt. She loves it. I think all my plants do so well because they just love sea salt so much. And they probably know that I love them and I want them to do well, and so I look after them. I don't know. Now she hangs around, I'd say at least 2 meters back from my north-facing windows, and I would call it between bright to medium light. But I have found her to be one of the easiest ferns. Not that I have many. I killed one last year. It was only a little baby and it was my fault. I repotted it too soon. But she seems to have been a fairly easy plant, in my experience anyway. Okay, so the last one is, yes, another peperomia, and this is my Peperomia Polybotria. I think it's also called the raindrop peperomia or coin leaf peperomia. And I think you can tell why she gets such a name. As you can see, her leaves have this pointed edge. Isn't she a beauty? I just love this plant. I think it is beautiful. She reminds me a lot of the Pilea peperomoides, but I don't think she's anywhere near as difficult. And it's actually ironic that I like her so much because when I bought her, I was at a nursery and I saw her and I'd never seen this plant before. And when I realized it was a peperomia, I just thought I have to have it. And it was only when I got home that I realized just how much I'd spent on her. And I resented her. I think I paid around $30, which was a little on the high side for me. I generally don't pay that much for plants unless they're quite a big plant, and this definitely was not a big plant when I bought her. Even though I did resent her, I think she just looks so stunning that she just grew and grew and grew on me, and now I just love her. I have her in my study, which has an east-facing window, and she sits very close up to the window, but I do have a curtain there, so it's filtered light. She has not stopped growing since I bought her, and I would say she has probably almost doubled, if not more, in size since I got her, which was, I think, November last year. So close to a year actually, yeah, 10 months. She's very similar to the Peperomia Opticifolias in that I wait until my moisture meter reads at least 2 before I water her. You can also do the Tucko test on her. So she's a very easy plant to look after, and it's not one that I see all the time. And she is just gorgeous, don't you think? Oh, don't you just love her? Well, I do anyway. So that was my top 5 favorite common houseplants. Let me know which one of these you like, which ones you didn't, and also I would love to hear what your top favorite common houseplants are. So that's going to be it for this video. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and letting me ramble on and on about my plants. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you once again to all of you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Until next time, take care guys. Bye.